At first, there are only doubts. Was it really that bad? Maybe you overreacted. Maybe you were the difficult one. Maybe he was right when he said you were too sensitive, too needy, too much. The doubts come in waves, especially in the beginning, when you're alone and the silence feels too heavy, when you remember the good moments and wonder if you gave up too easily, when you question everything you thought you knew. Did he really manipulate you? Or were you just incompatible? Did he gaslight you? Or did you misunderstand? Was it abuse? Or was it just a bad relationship? The doubts whisper. Maybe you should reach out. Maybe you should give him another chance. Maybe this time it would be different. But then something shifts. Slowly. So slowly you almost don't notice. You wake up one morning and realize you slept through the night. No anxiety dreams. No waking up at 3 a.m. with your heart racing. Just sleep. Peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. You express an opinion to a friend. A real opinion. And you don't immediately follow it with, but I don't know, or maybe I'm wrong. You just say what you think. And it feels strange, but also right. You make a small decision. What to eat for dinner. What movie to watch. And you don't second guess yourself for an hour. You just decide. Because it's your decision to make. And no one is there to tell you it's the wrong one. The doubts are still there. But they're quieter now. You start noticing things. How your shoulders don't live near your ears anymore. How you don't check your phone every 5 minutes with that familiar dread. How you can have a bad day without someone telling you that you're being dramatic. You have a conversation that doesn't end in an argument. Someone disagrees with you, and it's just a disagreement. Not a character assassination. Not a 3-hour battle where words get twisted and you end up apologizing for things you didn't do. Just two people who see things differently. And it's okay. The clarity doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt of understanding. It seeps in, gradually, in moments so small you could miss them. You're folding laundry and you realize you haven't felt afraid all week. Afraid of saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, being the wrong thing. You're driving to work and you catch yourself humming. Actually humming. When was the last time you did that? You look in the mirror and see someone you almost forgot. Not the perfect version he demanded. Not the apologetic version you became. Just you. Imperfect. Messy. Real. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like enough. The doubts try to creep back in. What if you're remembering it wrong? What if it wasn't as bad as you thought? What if you threw away something good? But then you remember. The knot in your stomach every time his name appeared on your phone. The way you rehearsed conversations before having them, trying to predict which version of him you'd get. The apologies that became automatic. The way you stopped trusting your own memory because he rewrote it so many times. That wasn't love. That was survival. The clarity grows. Not through dramatic revelations. Not through anger or grand epiphanies. Just through living. Through small moments of peace that accumulate like snow. Each one barely noticeable. But together, they cover everything. You realize you haven't made excuses for someone's behavior in months. You haven't explained away cruelty as stress. Haven't justified disrespect as honesty. Haven't called control caring. You realize your friendships feel lighter. Because you're not constantly canceling plans to manage his mood. Not apologizing for having a life outside of him. Not defending him when your friends express concern. You realize you can be wrong about something without it meaning you're worthless. You can make a mistake without a lecture. You can change your mind without it being used against you later. The doubts become smaller. The clarity becomes louder. Not because you've convinced yourself of anything, but because you've lived it. You felt the difference between walking on eggshells and walking on solid ground. Between questioning your reality and trusting it. Between shrinking yourself and taking up space. You don't need to hate him to know you're better without him. You don't need to villainize him to understand it was toxic. You just need to pay attention to how you feel now versus how you felt then. The clarity is this: you are okay. You were okay before him. You're okay without him. And you'll be okay moving forward. The doubts will come and go. That's normal. Healing isn't linear. But each time they come, they'll be a little quieter. And each time they go, the clarity will be a little stronger. Until one day, you won't doubt anymore. You'll just know. And that knowing will set you free. You're already on your way. Trust the process. Trust yourself. If this resonates, you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to keep walking toward clarity together.